Okay, I got German cover.
Yeah, Belgian Academy is German cover, led by a general, but I didn't catch his name.
That says looking good.
Oh, nice.
I think it says looking good. And okay, good. All right, so we are live.
Hey,
This
welcome
We
is
are
everybody.
live.
Are we live?
apparently so.
And we're live. We're live.
There we go. We are because I
This
got
is
the
what,
notification.
episode 2?
This
Yep.
is
Yes.
episode 2.
Episode 2 of the Mysteries of the First Emperor Earth Expedition with the FNG running it.
God.
And I've got to change my name to,
Yeah,
everybody should change their names. I will change my name to Archie.
that's correct.
Archie the archaeologist.
Mhm.
Archie
Pure,
Oogly.
pure coincidence, right?
Yeah. Absolute coincidence. So we left off, I believe, um, with Archie trying to figure out as much as possible. Like I think they finally delivered him some books, finding out as much as possible about the scepter, the artifact we're supposed to receive. And I believe that Cole and Stephen were going to go get materials for our expedition to check out the tomb.
Affirmative.
Okay.
That sounds about right. You guys had arrived in the evening, in what is now known as Beijing. You're in a nice, relatively nice hangar. That seems to be the uh, forefront of architectural design, interior design, and stocked to the gills with just about anything you could need, um, save for uh, amount of published writings of the time. So what Archie receives, as far as the book, most of it is going through the text. Most of it is a regurgitation of the same type of stuff. Uh,
Gotcha.
a lot of it is folklore. Nothing that specifically mentions the scepters, but often talks about the two eyes. You do see um, a lot of work about the two eyes always watching, uh, and a Pangu is the two eyes of Pangu. It's Pangu, but it's pronounced OO.
Okay.
You also see in the text some references to Shangri-La, to but you know in your studies that that's a place of myth. That place does not actually exist. But along with the references to Pangu, you are seeing some references to Shangri-La. And for those not familiar, Shangri-La, historically based in the Himalayas, where Everest is at.
All right. Interesting. Interesting.
Let's see if I've got anything else for you that stood out. You do see some. You did find some information about. Uh, there was one piece that seemed a bit off because it was handwritten. Like it was not. It didn't look like a traditional published text.
Right.
But there was in this piece they talked about the scepter. They talked about the eyes of Pangu. They talked about and they talk a lot about clay. and um and the blood of laborers. And it's really kind of vague on what laborers means. If that means farmers, if that means conscripts, if that means really what that means.
Usual mysteries. All right. So it's good. And I'm drinking as much oolong as I possibly can to keep myself awake as I'm reading through all this stuff.
There you go. You guys also receive some maps, general maps of the Beijing area. And the first place there's a lead is and where your cover is kind of starting is the Ming Monastery, which is the final resting place of the Ming family of the Ming Dynasty. Popular for most well known for the
Vases?
what's that?
The Vases?
Yes, the Vas. No, more the Great Wall being credited to historically credited to the Ming Dynasty that led to the end of well, timeline and all that, but it changed history. They actually took over after the Mongols.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going through my notes real quick just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Archibald also catches some stuff about Shaolin. If you're familiar, the Shaolin Monastery is another Chinese point of interest where the legendary Shaolin monks who practice kung fu and all that, but they're within the text, it's not credited as something attainable, something that you can see, just that it exists.
So now, is this monastery, where is this like an excavation site right now, or is it like a well-kept shrine that people visit?
So it is it's being excavated now.
Okay.
It's one of the, if not the first mausoleum that is being excavated from ancient China. Ancient Chinese people, Chinese people, very superstitious about those type of things. You don't mess with the dead, and you certainly don't mess with the royal dead.
And this is within the city itself, right? Because it's
it is slightly north. Let me give you I'll send you guys oh, you know what? No, I don't want to share my screen. Hold on.
I will let you do that just in case you want to do
yeah.
that. So
yeah, no, I don't want to do
okay.
Just yet. There's too much information.
Oh yeah, just in case you want, there's there. I mean, like, or you have something you can share. You got permission to do that now. So
thank you. You guys probably can't see my notes, can you? Oh, I've got to sign it. Never mind. I'm trying to throw. I'll have to throw it to you in Messenger.
Good enough. Oh, and my eyes are starting to cross looking at reading all this stuff.
So on that map, the Great Wall is, or one of the entrances to the Great Wall is there. The Ming Dynasty tombs. You're currently at the Beijing, or what would be the Beijing International Airport.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you guys see that? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
So yeah, you got a couple hours, in the morning before you get to the tombs. It's technically it's in the city now, but but then at the time it was not.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
All right. So we're kind of going northwest.
Mm-hmm.
And they're bringing us there.
Do you guys have anything in particular you want to grab, or do we want to do the rule of cool as far as the stuff you guys grab?
Not just, you know,
I'm-
typical,
I'm cool with
typical-
rule of cool.
yeah, typical excavation tools, just, you know,
And I would have brought like photographic equipment because I
Okay.
think that might come in handy. And it also is kind of a cover, right? If you're pulling out tripods and cameras and, you know, bags with photographic equipment.
Mm-hmm.
To the basic survival stuff I had on my sheet,
Mm-hmm.
I'm adding, you know, a pickaxe and a shovel, pair of binoculars, because I didn't have go for those. And since they said that weapons should be concealable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of what they have, I was thinking he's gonna grab an old-fashioned Webley British revolver. It was pretty ubiquitous at the time. So he can, and he'll wear it in a shoulder holster under his jacket.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense because carrying like a big weapon is going to be
And
too
the guy
visible.
told us that any weapons should be concealable.
Right. Right. Yeah. So I'll grab some small revolver, right?
You could get a Luger or something cool like that.
grab a notebook, pens, you know, a big ridiculous hat,
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of cloths to cough into.
There you go.
And a flashlight, which is always
Yeah.
useful, you know, as well as a cigarette lighter.
When
and stuff like
entering
that,
tombs, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay. So you guys get all your stuff, you get the information that or as best you're gonna find. Kind of back brief. Crash for the night. You've got pretty nice accommodations. You all have your own room. It's got its own personal shower. You guys are set up with potable water.
That's always good.
No, you guys even have hot water. It's a pretty nice establishment, all things considering it's a hangar. It's inside a hangar.
Right.
And
so
obviously the cyanide pill's going down the toilet.
oh, that's right. I forgot the cyanide pill. From here. Cyanide pill.
All right, so all right, are they taking us there? Or we going there by ourselves? That's what's.
So you know, in the briefing before you guys parted ways, that they explained they'll take care of you. They'll get you transported there. They've got a bus with academic labeling so that it's not accosted too much.
Good.
And we have our local guide, right? The guy who's gonna go with us.
Absolutely.
And that's what's his name? Is that Chen? Or is that?
I think. Wait.
Chen, Chinese
Yeah.
contact.
Yes, Chen.
Okay.
Yes, single name.
Excellent. All right.
Got to do up a character sheet for him. So he'll.
Chen, I think we're ready. I think we're ready.
Yeah. And by the way, I'll ditch the American style suit, right? And sort of try to adopt local garb because I'm the one who can pass for a local, right? So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's better to blend in just in case.
Okay. Cole is completely stereotypical, you know, big, you know, Richard Chamberlain as in King Solomon's Mine style khakis with the high lace boots, and he speaking of ridiculous hats, he wears a flat brim Stetson, the kind of hats they base the Smokey the Bear hats on.
Yeah.
So it's like a big game hunter basically with a indie style jacket. So very very stereotypical.
Love it. All right. So nightfall. I felt like it was raining. Was it raining? I forget if I said if it was raining or not.
I think it was.
It's raining now.
I feel like it was raining. But the rain stops overnight, and you guys wake up, meet up with Chen. You guys all eat breakfast. Kind of just explains to you what's going to happen. Hey, all right, you guys are going to get on the bus, or we're all going to get on the bus, small bus. We're going to head to the mausoleum. I need you all to be on your most restrictive and respectful behavior. It is paramount to our cover to stay humble, not brash, as the Chinese government is doing us a great favor for letting us study what they've found so far at the mausoleum.
No problem. No problem.
Do you have any questions before we depart?
Not really.
Do we know if the Chinese government has any security on site?
Officially, we do not know, but it is from previous scouting trips. They have had a representative there, usually undercover.
So they don't have overt soldiers.
No, once we get past the entrance to the mausoleum, so we'll have there's a perimeter around around the facility, and there will be visual presence there at the board or at the gate,
The entrance.
and then once we're inside, there is presence, but again, it's not overt.
No problem. We can be humble. It'll be fine.
All right, well, gentlemen, let's get on our way. And he ushers you through. You see another briefing room off to the side. Some people talking in there. No big deal. Like it looks like they've got other interests as well, beyond you three.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm sure that this super fancy warehouse is not for a couple of yahoos.
So yeah, you guys get on the bus. It's a nice scenic ride over. You see a lot of the local foliage along the way. It's not a heavy populated area between the airport and.
So we don't go through the city this time. It's
No.
open, more open, smaller neighborhoods.
Yep, you're going through small rural areas, and mostly to avoid extra attention or inadvertent attention.
All right, and most of which is completely lost on me because I am hat over my eyes, taking the opportunity to rest once I realize there's nothing interesting going on. I'm saving myself for the actual excavation or attempt to discover the artifact. So
I'm obviously keeping a good eye on the routes. It's one of my specialties is navigation under survival. Try to learn the route by heart in case we need to skedaddle.
Okay.
I'm sure that's why you're here, Thornton.
I thought it was for my charming personality.
Yeah, that too. All right.
Yeah, I'll be talking to the guide, to sort of get a sense of like neighborhoods and what's nearby in case we need to, again, like Jose said, maybe we need to get away or try to hide or something. So I'm trying to get a sense of the local.
So the nearest neighborhood, or what you would consider like populous area, would be about a mile to about probably about 3 miles to the south of the
dig site. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I try to get a sense of that neighborhood, right? Like in case we need to hide in there, or because I do have streetwise and skills of that nature. So try to get a sense of what the neighborhood is like. Is it run by any gangs? How heavy is the police presence? Stuff like that.
Uh-huh. And the city, we'll go with where is it? No, I'm not gonna do that. Chengnan would be the closest populous area. And it's a small little I want to say village, but I mean it's a small populace. It's maybe a couple thousand people. Not horribly well off houses, like they aren't uniquely adorned or anything. Some of them have less than perfect siding, kind of structure to their build. No large police force or anything like that in the neighborhood. They have a facility near the campus that is that's where they kind of rack up. But you'll see that as we head into the dig site.
Hey, Mr. Chen, could I ask you a question?
Hmm.
How do the local people around here feel about this excavation?
Oh, that's a very good question, Mr. Cole. They are not fond of it. They're not keen on disturbing great leaders, historical figures that have been laid to rest. There's a reason that these are tombs and not just graves. And they believe in curses and great magics that protect these legendary figures in their country's history. So they are none too keen upon it, although the Chinese government has established its tolerance for protest, and it's not a very lenient tolerance, if you catch my drift.
It's not like we're the British now. We're going to take everything from them.
Not anymore.
Of course, I suppose they don't really able to tell the difference between us and the British anyway. It's funny talking Brits.
Hey, there is they have sayings about Western people, and their similarities to one another.
Uh,
I can't tell Steve from Archie, so.
All right. So you guys pull through the town, and no uproars started, and then you guys head right, almost one right turn, and you guys are headed out of town, out of that little established area. And before too long, you come up to a walled off. It's a makeshift fence. It's not like anything heavily fortified, but it's definitely well guarded. You can see off in the distance to both the east and the west, there are guard towers, and it looks like that continues all the way around.
it's some heavy security.
As briefed, they are taking this very seriously, and they are also taking any opposition to the decision of the Chinese government choosing to dig here. They're making sure that it is known that won't be tolerated.
Well, that's good. I always hate to be killed while I'm excavating.
Then this is the job for you, sir.
Is there an area designated for parking, or do we park outside this fence?
So you come up to the gate, and the driver kind of shows some papers. One of the guards steps on, or steps in and kind of looks around, looks at the papers, nods curtly, and another guard waves you guys through inside the main perimeter. And what you come upon is it's a mausoleum. It's a tomb. It's a tomb of an ancient leader, or actually a family of leaders, of emperors. And it is quite clear where they are, where one of the tombs has been breached, where it's been opened up. The rest are still, I think there's 7 there, 7 other tombs there, and only the one is open, is cracked open. And you can see this from where you guys are parking at. You're parking about maybe 100 yards away,
Right.
From where you're heading into.
So I make note of, the different cars parked there. Try to memorize like license plates or something or at least make and model, right? Just to.
Okay. Yeah, and nothing out of the norm. It all looks to be Chinese manufactured. There's Chinese plates, although they do some do look different in the same way that your vehicle looks different. There's an academic exemption type plate to identify those vehicles, and there's one other one there right now that you can see.
And no Benz trucks?
What's that?
No Benz trucks?
No. No Mercedes.
So right, and that's why I'm looking, to make sure
Mhm.
that the license plate or something. I study the car just in case, might come in handy.
Okay, open the door, let's go. And I'm like, already clambering towards the exit, grabbing my satchel, and it's like,
Yeah, this my excuse is I'm unloading the bags for the camera gear and whatnot, and just looking around.
So yeah, as you guys get out, you get a sense that it rained here too last night. It was pretty heavy rain. There's a different smell to the air. It's almost musty, but not quite. Like you would say like must, but if you really thought about it, it's not. It's just a different kind of clay smell, wet clay. And you can see where the entrance was protected from the rain to make sure that no extra weather was coming in to do any damage. From where you guys are at, where you guys are parked, like I said, it's about 100 yards to the entrance of the breached tomb. And you see a couple people around. Again, there's maybe 7 or 8 cars here. There's not a whole lot inside here. Again, it's not exactly
right. It's
kind of
not a
frowned
shopping
upon.
center. Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
Yeah. There's
Well,
not a gift shop.
Right.
So I'm ignoring cars. I'm ignoring people. I'm, like picking up the pace, and I'm trundling right towards the entrance to, where this dig site is, and pushing anything aside, whatever kind of barrier they had for the weather.
Are the people hanging around, are they locals or do they look foreign? Or is there a nice mix?
The ones you can see, it's mostly local. It does look to be mostly Chinese officials or Chinese researchers. Nothing, and as you guys get off the bus and start walking towards the thing, you get some side eyes, because this is still a time China is very xenophobic. So they're not exactly keen on outsiders, but they also have figured out that it's not in their best interest to cause too much trouble.
As we walk by, I say good morning in Mandarin.
You definitely catch a couple eyebrows on that one with the way you look and being able to speak smooth Mandarin. That you turn some eyes, but you also get some scowls with curt responses.
Nice. I like these guys. They're grouchy. So
Okay, Professor. I guess you tell us where to go.
does it? I guess it doesn't make sense to go into the open one, right? We should pick one of the others. One of the others.
Wait, take us one at a time. We're going on the open one first. I want to see what these things look like. Give me the flashlight. Clicking a flashlight on and walking into see what they've already excavated.
Okay. So you walk in and it is a pristine room. It is almost unnatural how much dust is not in this tomb. And it's a large tomb, multiple rooms. There's at least as you come in the main area, there's at least a branch or a branching tunnel, a doorway to either side and forward.
Oh, fantastic. And I'm just looking around. Is Chen following us or no?
Oh, absolutely.
it.
Chen,
Okay.
yeah, Chen's with you.
So how long has this been open?
The government officially announced opening it about a year ago.
Okay, yeah. So it's been open, cleared out. Oh.
There's been a lot. There has been a lot, but we think that there's our information says that there's some things that may have been missed or overlooked.
Well, let's take a look and see if we won't overlook them ourselves. And I'm just poking around, like, shining a light everywhere, looking at the walls for any kind of, inscriptions and anything like that. Anything on.
Okay.
And it's not like a detailed, like, inch by inch search, but I'm poking
How big
around
is
and
how big is this place, Professor?
Well, so it's about what, probably 30 feet. So it's probably a 30 feet by 30 feet square. This room is. And from the maps and stuff that you had before, like you guys know that there's at least 4 other open chambers, all of similar size, not exactly, but similar. Like one's a 28, 28 by 24 room, and what they're believed to hold. They actually have not opened one of the rooms. They've not gone through the doorway, as there is rubble that has come down. They think it's from grave robbers that has caused some destruction. So they have not yet excavated past that. But that's an attachment to one of the other 3 rooms.
I see. Okay, gotcha. So I'm poking through everything that they've already gone through. Just give them, I guess, an idea of the layout of the whole place. And so the rubble, that's something that's like right in front of us, like it's part of this first original tomb, or is this part of one of the other tombs?
It's part of a compartment of this tomb.
Okay.
So imagine a square with 3 squares attached.
Right.
And then there are 2 squares attached to the back corridor or the back room, one of which does have rubble in front of it. The one to the west is the one that has rubble in front of it. The one to the east is open.
Gotcha. I'm gonna go east, just look for, like, once again, like any kind of inscriptions, any, give me, like,
you see, so the things that pop out are very similar to what you read. It's a description of the Ming Dynasty and their accomplishments, or at least the ones they've claimed. There's definitely a lot. You're seeing some of the characters for the 2 eyes. The 2 eyes of Pangu. Nothing else that you notice that's horribly striking, save for there does seem to be a crack. And the only reason I say crack is because it looks like it meanders all the way through all of the walls. Like it's a crack about eye level and it meanders all the way around effectively the perimeter of the tomb, and of course breaking at the door that that is blocked, but
Right.
everything else is consistent, and there is a line that stops there and starts again on the other side.
Using my extensive knowledge of geology, I'm just kind of looking at it to see if there's it looks like an earthquake or, like damage, or is it something in the rock? Otherwise, it looks natural, and I'm assuming it's probably natural. But just
let's see. Let's do an intelligence shot. Let's do an easy intelligence check.
I do have geology as a skill, or do you want me just to do an intelligence one?
Okay. I mean, you could do it as geology just the same. I'm looking at Eloy's character sheet.
You'll
That's
never
why I
get
couldn't
it.
see.
Yeah.
Got a deuce.
Okay. So that gets you there. Yeah, so your extensive knowledge of geology shows you this is not a geological fracture. This is actually carved into the walls.
Okay.
And you see, as you inspect further, you do see branching cracks, but they are intricately carved in a way that to a layman, it looks like a crack in the wall.
Huh. Well, that's really odd. Kind of shining my flashlight in there, just seeing, huh. Taking out one of the small picks and just kind of shoving it through the crack a little bit.
Okay.
Poking around the hole.
Yeah, so you
not like a little pick, a little excavation.
Yeah, just kind of just touching it to see where it is. Yeah, it's smoothed out where at the bottom, it's there's no seam. So it is in fact carved out, and there doesn't seem to be any crack from that seam or from that design bevel, where you would think after so much time there would be some natural cracks that happen in that stonework.
It's really odd. It's really odd. It's not a real crack. That's deliberate. It's carved in there. That's really strange. Sure.
What would the purpose of this thing be? It's mostly horizontal.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you got me. I've never seen anything quite like that before.
Does it resemble anything we know? Could this be a representation of, I don't know, the Great Wall? Or does it resemble a mountain range? What do you think, Professor?
Let's step back a minute.
So, all right. So you're stepping back to see the forest for the trees.
Yeah.
So as you step back with that same focus, you notice that this is not of the wall, but of the rivers of China. Like you see it as it's very similar to the rivers of China.
Yeah, that's a map of the rivers. What the hell would they carve that in the wall for?
It's a map.
Well, it's a map of the rivers, kind of. It's good representation of them.
The only light here is from our flashlights, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go ahead and light an oil lantern.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hand it to Steven, and then I'm gonna pull out our maps of the area to see if compared to the rivers that Archie's seeing.
Okay. So yeah, you step back and you make the comparison with the maps that you have, and there's some minor discrepancies, but it's pretty accurate. And where the river breaks, or where the door breaks, where is it? There we go. Is right near it's the Yellow River. It matches up with the Yellow River, and it's in the historic location of Xi'an. That's Xian. It's right about in that area where it kind of dips, and I'll send you guys another screenshot. Do,
And when you say the door breaks,
I mean, where the door break, where the wall.
Where the carving will stop because the
Okay,
door
yeah,
is
yeah.
there, right?
Mhm.
yeah, I got you.
Oh.
Let's get a better captain. There we go.
Well, that's interesting.
So yeah, right about where that tip,
Yeah,
you'll see it here shortly. Where the Xian River, or where the Xian area is close to the river. That's
Yeah.
right about where it kind of peaks. That's where it breaks off.
huh. That's interesting. Wonder why they did that. Thornton, you any good with picking up rocks?
It's picking up what?
Rocks. All those rocks in front of that, we got to get on the other side of the tomb. I don't know why the heck they waited for a year just to get another run.
You definitely piqued Shin's interest on this. And I'm sorry, Mr. Archibald, that we're not here to dig further. We need to be careful if we are going to dig further. I need you to be sure we're going to get some information out of this.
All right, son. I don't know what you expect me to do. I'm a digger.
I'll
got-
step outside the room, see if the crack leads anywhere else, like on the next room, right? It
I mean,
doesn't?
it wraps around. Again, it wraps around, but it doesn't necessarily lead anywhere. Just further topography of the rivers of China.
All right, so you don't think this thing is here, do you?
Are you asking my professional opinion or my personal one, Mr. Archibald?
Either.
My professional opinion is we have given you all the information we have.
Okay, what's your personal opinion?
My personal opinion is that there is more to this than just what we've been able to find. I believe there is a reason for some superstition. While it may not always be accurate on how it is explained, oftentimes the what I find to have validity.
Okay, well, that makes one of us.
And what I will say is, I do believe there is information behind that. Behind that wall.
All right.
I don't think it was looters that caused that cave-in.
Well, Thornton, how good are you at moving rocks quietly?
Never done it.
All right.
Always the first time.
Well then, let's be quick about this and careful. I start, pick it up.
So I give Cole a hand, but as I'm doing it, trying to be careful with it, I'll ask, Professor, what is there any connection or special significance to this place, Shang?
You asking me?
Is it
So,
is it
Yeah.
significant
From
to
the
the
archaeology or
Ming,
history point of view, right?
yes.
Well,
to
let's
the
see.
Ming Dynasty? Yeah.
So
Any
Well,
relevance?
it wouldn't be from the Ming Dynasty, but from the oh crap, I lost it. I've been reading about it all day and it just left me. That's not it. Where that's not the thing I'm looking for. Xin Chi Huang. It's the first emperor of China.
Oh.
And his capital, when he first united the Chinese people, or the Chinese regions, was Xi'an.
So that's the first capital of China as an empire.
As we would know it, yes, as an empire, he is the first to unite, and that was his place of rule, mostly because of its central location, within China.
Yeah, so it's the old capital. Not that anything here isn't really old, but you know what I mean. Come on, these rocks aren't going to move themselves. Ugh.
So you guys are moving. Shen is definitely looking nervous and watching the door, but is not complaining or arguing with you guys too much about it. What do you guys think? Are you guys trying to hustle? Are you trying to go fast? Or are you trying to go quiet?
I'll follow Archie's lead on this because I've never moved rocks before.
Oh, Archie's pace is rather slow.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of excited. So I think I'm going a little faster. I mean,
Okay.
I keep on kind of pushing the pace faster. I'm saying go quiet, but I'm moving the rocks like, come on, boys. And I'm coughing in my,
I will give you a style point for dying. But what it will cost you is it will be you're using up some energy now.
Yeah.
And that's energy you're gonna want later, or you might need later. We'll put it that way. So yeah, as you guys are moving these rocks one by one, quietly but quickly, you start to see through there's an opening on the other side of this.
I'm pretty excited.
But once you see opening, I said, "Hold on, Professor," and I shine a flashlight through the hole. Before
you shine a flashlight in there, and there is nothing but like the light goes far because there's nothing but bronze in there.
Ooh, bronze.
Yes, and it's polished bronze. The walls
light up. Yeah.
light up.
Nice.
Well, then.
Well. Look at that.
And all of it ornate.
Son of a gun.
So yeah, you guys are about shoulder level now, like as far as the rocks are, or as far as the blockage is going, and you are seeing it is not horribly hot or humid, but you can see from your vantage point that Shen is sweating.
Oh, come on, fellas.
You all right there?
Now I'm getting pretty excited. I'm just grabbing rocks.
This is nerve-wracking because this is not I get paid enough for this. I'll put it that way. But not by much.
Okay. Let's talk more work, boys. Come on. This is fantastic.
Okay. So yeah, you get down to about stomach height, but now you're getting some big boulders. Like these are some big rocks. And
how big is the entrance? Can I? I'm trying to see if I can squeeze through there.
Okay. You want to try and squeeze through?
Well, boost me up. Boost me up there, big boy.
Okay. I'm gonna say this is gonna be.
I think he's talking to you, Cole.
So
who knows?
For Archie, even with the help of the other guys, I'm gonna say it's acrobatics check.
All right.
Listen, Professor.
What?
Cool your jets. Let's have Steve go in first with a flashlight. And then I can boost you and he can help you on the other side. We don't want you hitting your noggin on the floor.
All right, all right, all right.
That's a good point.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So I'll say athletics, check, and it's for you, it's going to be an average task. So
average
two,
is 2,
two.
right? Yeah. So can I take
I
the
mean-
average on this, or
You could take the average. I'm okay with it.
yeah? So
You
it's
want
it's 2. The average
Okay.
is 2, so I should be able to.
Okay.
Get in
So
there.
yeah, you're able to squeeze through, and on the other side, like it's a sloped kind of deal, and on the other side, you see the floor, ceiling, all of it is bronze, and there is a tomb. There's a not quite a tomb, like it's not big enough for a body, but it definitely looks like an altar of some kind.
Hmm.
With 2 orbs on either side of it. So it's probably 4 foot long by 2.5 feet wide, and it's got on the wall that it's up against. There are 2 orbs. One that is more like it looks like it's a little craggy, like it's got marks in it for shading, and then there is one that is polished. It is polished smoother than anything else in this room.
Professor,
Ah,
you were talking about 2 eyes,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think I found something here. Might be a reference to the 2 eyes. Come on, let me help you in.
Oh, damn. Come on,
Sort
big
of.
boy, come on, give me, push my leg. Come on, help me out.
And the
yeah,
room
you,
isn't
big boy,
the
come on.
room isn't huge, right? It's like small and tight.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it?
probably 15 by 15.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
yeah, but it's not super cramped, but it's not a
Yeah, it
huge.
would be
Yeah.
enough for people to stand in.
Right. Okay. So I'll grab the professor's arms and
Yeah, give him a boost. Just don't let him fall over there and break his head.
right.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to climb over because you've got support on both sides. I'm not even
All right.
gonna make it a roll now. You got two strapping young men helping you out. You get through, and what you see is what would make your career for the rest of your life. You see an untouched mausoleum, and you see where the yellow river goes. Sorry.
Oh, it keeps
Yeah, the Yellow
going.
River
Excellent.
arcs around, and it points right about the same spot where that kind of altar is.
Huh.
I'm gonna follow them in there, obviously.
Professor, 2 orbs. Are those the eyes you keep talking about? Could it
Oh,
be?
but listen, that thing. Take pictures, would you? And I'm really
I'll-
kind of checking out
I'll
the
take
orbs, you
those.
know.
And how big are they? Yeah, before we touch them, we should take pictures. How big are these orbs, roughly?
So the one on the left looks a little bit smaller than the one on the right. The one that's got the crags and the pockmarks on it looks just slightly smaller. But they're about, I'd say, probably 16 inches in diameter. So 16 for the one on the right, and probably 14.5 on the one on the left.
I wonder if that's the sun and the moon or what the. That's. Huh. So I really got to take a look at like all the marks on the smaller one.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So yeah, you're looking at it. It looks like if you're looking at it with the thought that it might be the moon and the sun representation, you would be spot on. The crags mark, like you can almost see, if you squint, you can almost see the man in the moon kind of to the marks. It's a little different than what you're used to seeing, but it's pretty it's pretty close.
All right, well, that's This is a whole career. Get a good picture. Get me in the picture, would you?
All right.
So as you take the picture, oh,
Take the hat off.
I gotta know what it develop. Oh, okay. Sorry, I just did a thing and didn't mean to do the thing.
Okay.
Yeah, take the picture. You definitely get like the flash catches the one on the right just right, and it shines really bright in that room. So much so that Shen comes over to the doorway and asks if you guys are okay.
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Fine. This is great. This is fantastic.
What is it? Yeah. What is in there?
Oh, that wondrous things. Wondrous things. It's amazing.
Looks like some sort of tomb.
Tomb.
Do
The Emperor's tomb is in the other side.
I said, I don't think it's in the tomb. This is like a astrological chart or something. So,
Astrological.
well, maybe. I mean, well, listen. And I'm looking around you. Everything else in the room, like any kind of inscription,
Okay.
just using any kind of.
is the rest of the bronze plating like smooth, or is it a symmetrical pattern, or are there different areas?
There
Yeah.
are definitely symmetrical patterns throughout.
Okay.
It is quite clear that it is artistic and it's consistent with high class, with the upper echelon time it took to carve them out and form them. But underneath each of the eyes are inscription, like there are characters there. And it almost looks like a story. And it starts off under the one on the right. In the beginning, the universe was empty except for a big ball of energy shaped like a chicken egg. This ball of energy existed since the beginning of time and was called chaos, or as close as you can associate. Inside the egg, only mists swirled about until one day, the first living creature formed inside of chaos. And I'll start. And it goes on. It goes on and on. And you're seeing. So I assume you're skimming at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see this after reading through it. This is the story of Pangu. One that is fairly known in Chinese culture, but in all other texts that you've ever read, or that any of you have ever read, Chinese history, it talks about Pangu's hair. It talks about Pangu's body forming the mountains. It talks about his the hair on his skin forming the trees and the grass. It talks about his veins carving the rivers and or turning into the rivers of earth. It usually ends with Pangu leveling down on earth as both of his eyes were pushed into the cosmos as the moon and the sun. So Pangu is always watching over his creation. But this one ends with Pangu's heart in the formed the tallest, and then it is scratched out. It is carved. It is somebody
Try to efface it.
intentionally effectively redacted the rest of that line. And that's not a line that is shared in any text that you've seen coming from China.
Using my vast knowledge of archaeology, having seen plenty of things like this. I'm trying to determine, has that been scratched out centuries ago or recently?
No, very much recently. One would almost say within the last year.
Oh,
Mm.
a damn shame.
Did it say most high?
It's rough translation, tallest, most high,
Tallest, most high,
largest,
largest, right,
something to that effect.
right.
Largest, most high.
So is it referring to a mountain like Everest? It
Could
is
be.
the highest.
They have known that back then. I don't know, but could be anything around here. But yeah, most high. It is a myth.
Are there any high mountains close to here or anywhere in this map of the area?
Not in this area of the map as it would be laid out. No, the biggest mountain range would be the Himalayas, which is over to the far west.
Mhm.
How about does the river mark pass near this tile that we're reading this thing scratched out? Maybe see, or is it just
no,
passes through everything? Yeah.
It just kind of passes through and around. Around it kind of points over the representations of the sun and the moon.
Right. Okay.
Like, and I'm gonna rip a paper out of my notebook and grab like a piece of charcoal and try to rub over where it's been scratched out to see if I can get any better
That's
representation.
style point for that one. For
For
pulling out the rubbing paper.
I'm just trying to see if I can maybe get a little bit more. See if they didn't quite scratch. Because sometimes with a naked eye you really can't see. Like if you do that, maybe you can.
So yeah, you're scratching at it, but like you're rubbing it, but it's pretty well marked. There's no discernible character that you could hope to translate right now. Maybe some further studies later.
Yeah, the myths did talk about Shangri-La, Everest, all that stuff. I can't imagine. Why did they cross it out?
They don't want anyone else to know.
And so I stick my head right to the hole. John, you think the Chinese government buys into this whole thing?
What do you mean buys into the whole thing?
The scepter, the whole what you guys are looking for. You think any of them?
He's asking whether the Chinese government thinks it's magic.
Oh well, I mean, the Chinese people have various levels of belief in magic, especially when it comes to ancient China.
Well, listen. There's reference here to something that's been scratched out recently.
Scratched?
Like somebody, yeah, like there's a text in here. There's a story of Pangu talking about his heart and the Most High, and next thing you know, everything's crossed out. But like somebody wrecked this priceless.
Wait, the Most High.
Yeah. I don't think they're talking about Yahweh. This is China, after all.
Yes. I don't recall. I know the story of Pangu quite well. I don't know anything of a reference of a tallest or highest anything. There's the rivers that are his veins. There's the mountains that are his muscles.
I've read the story.
Well, it's referencing his heart, isn't it?
His heart? There is no reference in the story.
Well, there is here. And it had a smashing ending, so smashing that somebody decided to cross the whole dang thing out. And wrecked it.
As you see Shen just absolute shock, you also happen to catch the shadow of somebody else entering the main area of the tomb.
Uh-oh.
The only thing I can think of is to move my head. It ducked back.
Switch off the flashlights.
Okay.
All right. Wait for my ice to
And
adjust.
Shen, let's see. Yeah. Shen will crawl up the rocks and kind of dive behind them. And you guys from there, you start seeing flashlights shining around, and you hear something very strange and unexpected. You hear American accents.
Oh.
You hear a couple Americans walking around saying, I don't see anything, sir. I'm no archaeologist, so maybe we get our guy in here the next time we come, but this I don't.
I'm gonna try and stealthily peek out at them since we are in the dark and they have light.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna use. So we'll do a stealth one.
Right.
I think just because of the light and the darkness of it, we'll go an average task on, or well, no, let's go a tough task. Just because you guys did kind of make a pile of rocks.
Right. So that's tough. It's
Is a 3.
a 3.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Let me see. Means that my stealth is 5. I'm gonna go ahead and use a style point on that.
Okay.
So hopefully the average.
Will bear out. Yes.
That's 1, 2. They got 6.
What?
6 successes.
Oh my God. Nice.
Ninja
Six
magic.
dice? Oh my God.
6 dice. Yes.
It is comical how they turn off their flashlight just as they would cross that door and keep shining around on the other side of the door. They see nothing. So yeah, you're able to peek out at them. From what you can discern from the reflection of their flashlights back upon them, these guys are in suits. They're not exactly trying to blend in by any means, but very clear American accents, and they're talking about finding out something before the Germans. They're trying to, like, we need to get this information before the Germans do.
So do they look like they have like military types, like they have military haircuts or something?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Clean cut, sharp, like they're sharp, completely clean shaven, suits to the night, definitely suits that are definitely not closed. You go to an archaeological site with.
So I whisper really close to Steve. I think these are some coworkers. Take a peek.
That's strange.
Yeah. Yeah, and you hear you overhear one of them say, "Yeah, the intel I've got, the Germans are probably a day out before they get to this site.
Good to know.
But we need to get our archaeologists back. We need to get our archaeologists in here before they do. So you need to call Washington now." And the other guy more lackadaisical. Okay, yeah. Well, let's get out of here and let's go. The whole time.
As soon as they're going to tell him that was the official U.S. team. They look like either feds or soldiers. They said Germans will be in here in about a day.
I wonder who the archaeologist is. Should have asked him. Well, I suppose it's probably not a good idea.
This makes it interesting. So we're not the U.S. team.
Well,
and Shen kind of turns to you, Mr. Cole. We explained to you we're not with them.
I know. I heard you, sir. But this makes it more complicated. They're coming back with one of your colleagues, Archie.
Once again, as the heat's turned down a little bit,
Mhm.
and a post family flashing around, and once again, use my vast archaeological knowledge, just comparing this to everything else I've seen. Just if I can piece out anything else about this room, about the purpose of the room, about
So looking around, like it's very consistent with the first emperor's kind of his story, or at least the one that is known to China. You definitely see.
Excuse me, Jim. On the
Mhm.
map, where Xi'an would be. This room is where Xi'an would be.
Yes, yeah, this is where the Yellow River points to Xi'an.
Okay, this is
Yeah, you get about his, tyrannical rule and how he conquered other regions of China and united China, but was an unkind ruler. Everything in here is pretty consistent with yeah, he was the first guy, but he was a dick. That is all through Chinese texts, archaeological texts.
well,
Do you gentlemen have everything you need? Because we need to get out of here, and probably based on what Mr. Archibald's findings are, we probably need to replace these rocks post haste before
yes, of course.
whoever opened this before us finds out we opened it.
And there are no other exits from this chamber.
Not that you can see. There's different like frames around the area. Like there's different spots that would be big enough to be, but I mean, unless there's some kind of secret passage.
But not that we can see. There's like no doors.
Yeah.
Closed or otherwise.
And the little altar thing where the spheres are anchored, that's like a solid piece, right? There's no like cabinet underneath.
Whoa. How anchored are they?
So they're half globes. Like they're
they're embedded. Okay.
Yeah, they're embedded in the wall. I mean, they're like, if you guys look real closely, there is cracks around them. Like there's seams.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm grabbing little pry bars and saying, can I actually push these out?
And
Okay.
there's 16 inches like diameter each.
Yeah.
So they're pretty big.
Yeah, they're decent size.
Yeah, we're just gonna see how wiggle.
All I'm saying is you can't put it in your pocket, Professor. Those things are pretty big.
Oh, damn it! You got a picture, right?
Yeah, I got a picture.
Oh God, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Let me keep on looking at this. Essentially, see if I can make it wiggle.
You hear a cracking, but it doesn't feel consistent. Like it's a globe. It feels like you're pulling something off the wall.
Like not just
like it feel so. You know how it would feel to pry out a globe,
right?
And then it feels like you got under and there's nothing else behind it. Like you found a lever point,
right?
That is it's flat behind there.
So it's a half a sphere, right? So if you pop it, then
right.
I think it's
a big piece of bronze. Archaeological find of the century.
Gentlemen, may I suggest we take our leave before we
all right.
for another set of guests. And you
help me out.
So you push it back in and you see some dust fall down.
Yeah.
this otherwise pristine room now
Yeah.
has a pile of dust right underneath it.
Help me out.
Yeah, and then to answer your question earlier, Stephen, or Eloy, it's that altar type area. It's all one piece. There's no seam to it at all. It's
Cool.
formed and shaped
Right.
into the steps, kind of into the form that it is.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
if I'm understanding this, gentlemen, like the place of importance, if it's not one of these tombs, is either in Chen or Mount Everest. But I'm guessing we should probably check out the closest place first, because Mount Everest, well, it's pretty tall. It's not quite so low, close to here. quite an effort to get up there.
Xi'an is quite closer than Everest.
And besides, there's no such place as Shangri-La. It's a myth. However, the man that found that, if it's real, they name in the history books forever.
What's this Shangri-La you're talking about?
Oh, just a myth,
Oh, what is it?
It's just city.
It's Shen takes the opportunity to explain it. It is a place of legend. It is a place of myth. It's in the rumor, or it's told to be in the Himalayan mountains, and it is pristine. It is the Eden, if you will, of the world. It is pristinely kept, and all who live there are ageless. They live a life of peace off of the land, and they never leave, they never have to, and they never age, for it is the ultimate center of being one with the world.
There must be some pretty dames there.
Well, Professor, if you ever retire, that sounds like a good place to go.
I was thinking Paris might be a little better, but what's the difference?
That sounds like whoever carved this here thought it was real, at least.
They believe all kinds of nonsense, even stuff about magic scepters.
Indeed. Now, if you don't mind, gentlemen, we should probably make haste at this point before we have any more visitors.
Yeah, right.
You're
so
right.
In my dusty clothes, I try to walk out and saunter out as nonchalantly as possible, with like this big grin from ear to ear and this bounce in my step. You're gonna get those developed.
Not here.
Well, yeah, we gotta develop soon.
So you guys put everything back, you put the rocks back in place or as best you can get.
Manage.
It's enough to seal up the thing, and then as you walk out, you definitely get that you've been in a dark room for a while, and you are coming out into sunlight. You're coming out into the almost high noon sun.
Yeah. That's normal. I'm used to it.
Mm-hmm. There are as you guys blink and get your wits about you, kind of rub your eyes, you definitely see a few more cars off where yours are. None of German build, but there are definitely some that look like they belong to the Chinese government.
So what I want to do is, unless somebody interrupts us, I want to, when we get back to our car, I want to open our map on the hood of the truck, and see if we can place, using the scale of the tomb, see if we see any interesting stuff on where the other tombs would be.
Oh goodness. Okay.
Closer down to sea level, but to see if any of the other tombs would be on that scale on top of other important places of China.
Like the different rooms. So this was all one tomb.
Right.
I see.
Because that could be a clue to what's in the other ones, right? if we know
Mhm.
what they're supposed to represent as part of this map, and we have the scale.
If you use the same scale, so you guys walk back and you get some of the same curt nods, definitely get some eyebrows for Mr. Archibald's, shit-eating grin. He's cheesing from here to France. You guys get back there, you take a look at it and you kind of orient the map a little bit. And it looks like the main tomb, the one that was opened, covers the entirety of China as far
Okay.
as the river systems go.
All right.
There's nothing that would necessarily say, not saying that there isn't,
Yeah.
but there's nothing that would say
But on the
that,
scale, that the map,
uh-huh,
that tomb would cover all of China. All right.
uh-huh,
That's important to know.
or all of China at the end of the Ming Dynasty.
So that's where the money is. In other words, gentlemen.
You sure you're not an archaeologist? Sure you're not an archaeologist there, Cole?
No, but I'm good with maps.
Yeah. Good idea there, son. Good idea. I'm gonna teach you a couple things.
When I lived here, I was the sergeant to the military intelligence observer for the Chinese-Japanese War. So part of my job was knowing these maps and tracking their units.
No, that's awesome. Well, all right. So how long is it gonna take us to get to Xi'an then?
We're probably gonna have to go back to the airport. My guess is we're gonna need a helicopter lift at very least, if we can't charter a plane.
Dang it, Chen! I was asking Thornton.
My apologies.
So how much would it take if we were to drive there?
If you were to drive there,
Yeah.
goodness, it'd probably take a day or two. Hold on. I'm in the wrong part of my map. That'd take about three days.
I think Mr. Chen's right. Be about 3 days drive and then some hard climbing. So maybe if we can get an aircraft, it'd be much better.
I think our organization can procure that.
Okay, Chen. After careful consideration with Thornton, I believe we might use your helicopter.
That sounds like a plan if that's in the budget, because from here to Xi'an, we're probably gonna want a plane. We just got to find a runway.
Excellent. And what sort of elevation are we talking about there? If
Xi'an, oh goodness, it's not. I don't think it's a huge difference actually from
Okay.
where you're at right now.
All right, so okay.
No, certainly not the most high. Hey, well, we could go to Everest, but yeah, I check this out first.
1,300 feet above sea level.
Look at it this way. You may get some more of those Russian fish eggs for dinner.
Sounds good.
So are you guys loading up, or you guys hanging out to talk to the other digs?
I get it. No.
Are there? And you said that the other people there are officials. We don't. Do we see any sign of the Belgian delegation?
Nothing that you can see. And you don't see the American officials or the Americans that you encountered, eluded.
Well, I'll go talk to one of them. I have all these social skills, meaning no social skills. I'll go talk to one, and I'll say, "Hey, excuse me," in my accented but articulate Mandarin.
Mm-hmm. And
we
you see
were
this man cringe.
we heard. Apologies for the interruption. It's just that we heard that there was a very well-renowned team of scientists from Belgium here. Have they been here today? Have you seen them by any chance?
I only know of, there is only from the University for Belgium, and you actually grabbed the guy that is kind of monitoring things and keeping track of things, and he pulls out a clipboard. Tomorrow. Why?
We just heard they were really good at the job, and we wanted to see
Compare notes.
to compare notes. That's right. What he said.
Yes, quite. They'll be here tomorrow around 11.
If our schedule allows, we're going to try and meet them. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Did you guys find anything special in the tomb that we haven't found in the last year?
Not much really.
No?
No, but it's some impressive architecture.
Oh, is there? And how did you feel about the bronze in the tomb?
Bronze?
Was there bronze elsewhere?
There wasn't.
Okay.
Bronze?
Okay, no, sorry, I misspoke. I'm thinking of one of my other digs. My apologies.
No problem. My Mandarin is my third language. I'm not very good at it. I might have misunderstood something.
Yes. Yes, I'm sure that's what it was. Are you sure you don't want to are you staying here at the site for a little while? I would love to compare notes with you.
Well, we have to head back to our headquarters. We're working stiffs, right? We have to report to our employees. Not everybody's as enlightened relationship between managerial and working stiffs like you Chinese do.
And the
We have
professor
bosses.
is a man of delicate health, so I think he needs his rest and
Absolutely.
Yeah, I lean in and I say, I'm not sure I know the term, social diseases.
And you definitely get a chuckle and a style point.
I'm just puffing away in a Chesterfield, like in the bus,
Of course.
Well then, yes. Then welcome, if nobody's welcomed you yet, to China, and I hope you are able to meet with your Belgian counterparts tomorrow. I'll make sure that you let them know that you stopped by, or that you asked of them.
Thank you.
And then so he takes his leave and walks away, but you also see him grab a walkie-talkie and whisper into it. He doesn't say anything out loud, like anything within your range, just garbled,
I may have kicked. I tell these guys I may have kicked the hornet's nest, but it could be that our Belgian friends are bribing these guys. But he knows about the bronze.
Yeah.
I say this once we're back in the bus. I tell Archie,
yeah,
these guys knows about the tomb with the bronze. They know.
Yeah, the bastard scratched it out. Who knows? But
which means we gotta be ready to have competition over in Shen.
There's always competition in archaeology. We need to leave now. Ow.
Chen, hand me the keys. I'll drive.
He tosses you the keys. All right. So you guys pulling out with the quickness, I assume?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So yeah, you get closer and closer to the gate. Doesn't seem to be any problems. Although you do notice, Stephen, you notice in the rearview mirror, you see a couple cars following you now. Like, and they're trying to match speed. You get closer and closer to the gate. They stop you. We need to check the bus to make sure that you've not taken anything from the mausoleum.
There wasn't anything to take, but sure.
Indeed. So you won't mind us checking. And
No?
he waves over to another guy who does not look like he's happy to be there in the humidity and the heat and the sun, and not just doesn't like his job. He walks on the bus, looks around, and in Chinese, did you take anything?
No, we didn't see anything we could take, even if we were that much of a bunch of bastards to steal stuff.
As everybody before you. Thank you. And he walks off the bus, tells this guy, and the gate opens up for you guys. The other cars that are behind you have been stopped for the same reason. But you guys have an open gate.
Nice. So I go out and I'm not gonna take the direct route to the hangar. So I'm gonna drive to the neighborhood,
Okay.
Qingnan.
Okay, so in your rear view, you do see, or well, actually, Cole, if you're looking out the back of the bus,
Yeah.
You see them arguing with the two cars that were following you, and the second car pulls around the first car while it's being inspected and starts bolting out the gate and attempting to follow you. From the looks of it, of the aggressiveness of that acceleration. But with that, I think we will.
This is a nice hip clanger for a pulp story.
Yes.
Awesome.
Nice.
And I'm pulling my hat over my eyes. I should have taken that. It's a good thing I didn't take that, but I tell you, he could have snuck it out. He could have snuck it out.
I don't know where you're gonna put it, but sure.
14 in diameter, half sphere of solid bronze.
Priceless. Belong to the
Awesome.
museum.
It's like bigger than a
Awesome.
basketball.
Great.
Yeah, it's
I love
Yeah,
what
nobody would notice that.
No, I not only have like Archie's carrying this thing that got to weigh like 300 pounds.
Yeah,
She's giant.
I love all the intrigue in an archaeology thing. That is awesome.
Oh, that's interesting. Now we got a couple of people, couple of rivals, and some immediate tailing us, right? So it's going to be interesting trying to lose them.
Yeah,
we don't have to lose them. We can like set up like a meeting spot. Maybe we can talk to them.
Persuade them forcefully.
You two are so violent.
Blunt force persuasion.
Force persuasion. Yeah.
Yeah.
You folks are so violent. So all this it takes is a little charisma. That's it.
Yeah. I wanted so bad to give you guys some action, but Jose rolled the shit out of that stealth check.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Nice. That's
not exactly the place I want to have action, like being stuck in a room, like with one egress,
one exit. Yeah, that's right.
Because we're talking about shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah, even Americans would have a hard time missing that.
Yeah,
it would have been a great place for some fisticuffs, but still, it was a good scene. It was a good scene. I like it. It's all of a sudden everything gets more complex. I love it.
Yeah, it's a nice clue with the river and the cracks and everything. So that's
pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how it would actually work physically because there are breaks in the rivers of China, but
right.
It felt like it fit.
Yeah,
it's awesome. All right, Dan.
All right.
Yeah, I need to get some. Oh, thank you, man. I need to get some sleep. I think we've got a couple weeks where we're not going to be able to play because of the 4th and because of something else.
Yeah, after the 4th, Loy and I are on vacation.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
What?
So,
Vacation.
I know. Worse.
yes, finally.
I'll be out the 11th and the 18th because
Okay.
I'm actually I'm gonna get something else off my bucket list. I didn't even plan it, but my sister planned my first thing off my bucket list. I got to go to Yellowstone when I turned 50, and we're gonna fly to London and take a cruise through the Norwegian fjords.
Oh, nice.
I always
Nice.
want to see it's like a reverse Viking trip, right? So we went to
Okay.
London to raid Norway.
That'll be fine, man.
All right. So the 25th sounds good then. So it looks like we're playing like once a month.
The 25th does not, unfortunately. I have
July, guys,
I have
July is always hell month for RPG.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got a game convention that I'm doing.
Okay.
So
Which one?
Sounds looks like August 1st.
local one is FlingCon.
Okay.
We run the
Oh,
25th through the 27th.
You
Oh.
posted something today about that thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Didn't you? Today or
Probably.
yesterday on Facebook.
Yeah,
I was like, what is this? And then I realized that it's something con. And it's, oh, okay. He's going to a gaming thing.
Yep, it's
Nice.
3 days of board gaming.
Oh,
okay.
cool.
Yep, lots of tabletop. Not so much RPG stuff. We've got one shop that wants to do introduction to D&D, but that's about the extent of it. The rest of it is all tabletop board gaming.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool too.
All right,
Okay,
fellas.
so looks like August then. Yeah.
August 1st. Yay.
Yeah, well, we'll be gossiping over on the chat.
Yeah.
You guys
Yes.
have a great night. Jim, thank you so much for
Yep.
running this.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you
Awesome.
guys for playing.
Thank
y'all
you.
take
Okay,
care.
guys.
Take it easy. I'm going
Bye.
to stop the broadcast.